My name is Christiane Fröhlich. I'm a peace and conflict researcher and I hold a PhD in sociology. 60 million people are currently on the run from political violence and persecution. Another 20 million have had to leave their homes for environmental reasons, like drought, floods and sea level rise. Climate change is real. The whole southern Mediterranean is already suffering from its effects, and it's unclear what that means for regional stability. For instance, Syria experienced a century drought immediately prior to the outbreak of the current civil wars. 1.5 million people lost their livelihoods. They abandoned their villages and went to live in Syria's cities and towns. Many people believe that these environmental migrants played a key role in the Syrian uprising. However, data is still scarce. The world is facing a refugee crisis of tremendous proportions. I want to build knowledge on the causes of migration, as well as its role for conflict escalation. During my fellowship, I will interview Syrian farmers now living in Turkey. I want to understand which role climate migration played for the onset and escalation of the Syrian civil war.
My name is Defne Kadıoğlu-Polat. I studied social sciences and human rights, and I have a PhD in political science. Istanbul is growing. In fact, it is exploding. The cityscape is rapidly changing. Neighborhoods that used to be rather poor are turning into popular spots for young people from Istanbul and tourists. Istanbul's inner city is gentrifying. During my PhD, I looked at the gentrification process in Berlin and how it affects Turkish immigrants there. Now I want to know how the people in Istanbul deal with it. As a Mercator-IPC Fellow, I want to analyze urban change in Tophane, Istanbul's oldest industrial zone and historical working-class neighborhood. How does gentrification affect people in Tophane? How do they cope with rising rents and newcomers? What are the main conflicts? And are there any positive sides to the gentrification process? I want to understand urban change beyond borders and contribute to the dialogue between policymakers, researchers and activists in Berlin and Istanbul. Maybe we can find common solutions for our two partner cities.
My name is Çetin Çelik. I hold a PhD in sociology and I'm working on migration and educational inequalities. Education is still the best way to build a career, earn income and achieve respect in society, but not everyone can benefit from education equally. A family's socioeconomic resources such as parental education, income and occupation strongly affect students' educational performance. Family is really important, but today children are mostly socializing at schools. They spend most of their day in the classroom and in the schoolyard together with their classmates and teachers. If they have the right policies and regulations, schools can guide and motivate disadvantaged students to perform well academically. As a Mercator-IPC Fellow, I want to explore how schools contribute to the success or failure of students with working-class ethnic minority backgrounds in Germany and Turkey. My project aims to exchange knowledge between Germany and Turkey on the role of schools in order to form a more egalitarian society.
My name is Peter Mock. I studied chemistry and economics, and I have a PhD in automotive engineering. There are more than 3 million vehicles on the road, just in Istanbul. And every day, another 1,000 vehicles are newly registered in the city. These vehicles have a strong impact on our environment and our life in general. And that impact you can see, you can smell it, and you can hear it. Luckily, there are technologies that enable us to reduce the negative impacts of road transportation. There are cars that consume significantly less fuel than others. These cars emit less carbon dioxide and help to protect our climate. They also emit less air pollutants, allowing us to breathe clean air. And they help us to save precious oil, thereby strengthening our energy security. During my fellowship, I want to analyze how we can get these clean vehicles onto our roads. I want to look at existing policy measures to see which ones are working well in practice. And I want to build a bridge between Turkey and other key automotive markets worldwide. A bridge that allows us to exchange knowledge and experience about clean vehicles and to learn from each other.
My name is Hande Paker, and I'm a political sociologist. I'm interested in whether we in a globalizing world can move across social, political, and cultural divides in order to address environmental concerns. In my project, I will look into the politics of climate change as a transnational public sphere. Climate change represents all the ills that plague the environmental commons. But still, an effective response has yet to be found. Despite increasing mobilization for environmental issues in Turkey, climate change is hardly a cause for concern. Policymakers pay lip service to the issue at best. This is why, as a Mercator-IPC Fellow, I would like to analyze how civil society actors engage in the issue to mobilize publics. Local and transnational environmental spaces of action are crucial in this respect. I believe this way we can understand how climate change can cross-cut diverse identities and multiple environmental issues. Can this then become a basis for change towards more ecological ways of living?
My name is İlke Toygur. I'm an economist and a political scientist. My research centers on political parties, elections, and voting behavior in Europe. As a Mercator-IPC Fellow, I will investigate political parties, party systems, and elections in Europe and Turkey from a comparative perspective. What does the political landscape look like? What about Turkey's EU membership? What will happen when new political parties govern European capitals? Europe has been going through economic hardship for years. This situation has changed its political outlook. In Turkey, there is very limited information on the issue. On the other hand, Turkey has its own set of dynamics. Many people have voiced concern over the autocratic tendencies in the country. There has been a certain change in its party system. However, the implications of this change are not that clear. My project aims to provide information to Turkish authorities and their European counterparts in order to build a better understanding.